I'm Laurie Blake. Welcome to the WrestleTalk news on Fridays. We wear pink. Now, I don't know how you feel, but 2023 in WWE has been too safe. We've had great stories, and then we've had them again for like 6 more months. But we're missing the drama, the ups and downs, the teetering on a knife edge at all times, the feeling that scripts might get ripped up at a moment's notice. I'm obviously being sarcastic. But fans of dramatic U-turns might get a kick out of this one, as it's the kind of thing that would give old Dom Toretto a tickle. So, Mustafa Ali has made his way to NXT TV in recent times, and on this past Tuesday's show, he debuted a new character, appearing on a podium, claiming to be a leader to the American people, and angling for a program for the North American Championship. This is all a character that he reportedly wanted to pursue on the main roster, but WWE never ran with it. To go along with the new look, he updated his Twitter and Instagram profiles with new logos and designs for like a day. Because Ali's profiles have now gone black, usually the dramatic sign that somebody is leaving the company, but in this case, he hasn't actually deleted all of his posts, he's just blacked out the profile pictures. So it's just sort of a bit of a weird backtrack overall. But Ali did post the obligatory new profile pic post with a blacked out image, so I mean, at least he's having fun with it. But what does it mean for the character? Who knows? Maybe they decided to go in a different direction. More tangible is the news we talked about earlier in the week, and that is of Edge's WWE contract being up following his match with Sheamus on Friday's SmackDown in Toronto, Canada, where Edge is from. This news initially came from Edge's trainer, but now the Rated R superstar has confirmed it himself in an interview with ET Canada, saying, "This is the last match on my current contract. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I probably won't know until I get to the locker room that night and decompress. Let all the anxiety and tension that I never used to have before I performed, I have now. That's strange for me and makes it much harder to do this. I'm going to be 50 in October. It's not easy anymore." Notably, Edge doesn't say whether he has another contract lined up or will be giving up the wrestling game altogether, or maybe it's AEW confirmed, or well teased, by AEW star Dax Harwood, who posted a photo of himself, Edge, and Beth Phoenix just hanging out, all casual like days before Edge's final WWE match. We'll have to wait and see what Edge does following his final match on this current contract. He says himself he's not going to call it until after the match, and I don't really care which company he actually retires in, but the match has to actually be Edge and Christian versus the Hardys versus the Dudleys, and then they all just retire together, and that'll be lovely. Now, do you remember the other day when I clickbaited you, or what was it? Probably Tuesday according to my broken watch, about Lacey Evans' WWE departure. Well, I've got an update about her departure from WWE, which she announced and was subsequently removed from WWE's current roster page. I got you real good. I clickbaited you real good. So good, it wasn't a clickbait. Though Evans teased the hell out of leaving the company, no word had actually come down on whether it was a release or a contract expiry until now, because Dave Meltzer and PW Torch have both confirmed that it was in fact a contract expiry. Seemingly, both Evans and the company were happy to just run out the clock on their 7-year working relationship. This also means that Evans is now a free agent with no non-compete clause and is able to work wherever she wants. So watch out for her. She's apparently opening a diner. Sticking with WWE now, and one man who we don't see as often as we once did is John Cena. Can't see him. Now, while Cena is a bona fide mega movie star these days, his WWE ties remain, and there may be one nagging accomplishment in the ring that he feels he needs to tick off still. That being capturing the Intercontinental Championship, the one prize that he never got his mitts on throughout his 21 years in the company, because he had the US title, and who cares about the rest of the world? And maybe, just maybe, Cena has now dropped a tease that could be in his sights. Now, the massive asterisks around this whole thing is that it came from Cena's notably weird and unpredictable Instagram account, which already this month has posted a picture of Stone Cold Steve Austin with his face replaced with a Greek food dish called souvlaki, and the legendary rapper Eazy-E driving around in a Nintendo 64 game console. So yeah, big pinch of salt here, because it's basically Bizarro land. However, Cena's latest post was one that got fans speculating, as it was nothing but a picture of the ring general Gunther, potentially teasing that a future match could be on the cards. John Cena loves a foreign heel. He bloody loves them. It's also worth noting that Gunther has expressed his desire to defend his title against Cena in the past. In fact, after winning the gold last year, the Austrian told Sports Illustrated that facing Cena was one wish he had in order to bring the prestige of the IC title back. You can come out on a tank, Gunther. Well, Gunther has actually already done that, and then some. A Cena rivalry would be a nice bit of icing on this particular cake. Crossing over to AEW now, and given all the drama and reported talent unrest stemming from he who shall not be named, it's easy just to imagine the company's backstage area consisting of just sort of fire, screaming, rabid dogs running around biting people, you know, the usual Mad Max vibes. Hey, it can't be that bad at all, as numerous surprising outside AEW names were reportedly in town for this week's AEW Dynamite, and that comes according to Fightful Select, including a pair of former WWE stars. Now, funnily enough, the two ex-WWE names in question share a little bit of a history, and it both ties to current AEW collider Miro. One of which is Miro's wife, CJ Perry, formerly known as Lana, and Miro's former on-screen flame, Summer Rae. Awkward! Yes, reportedly both Perry and Rae were backstage in Nashville, and while the former was of course visiting her husband with the couple also living in the area, it is less clear why Rae was present. Although, as Fightful notes, she has expressed an interest in making more wrestling appearances in the future, with her last match coming back at Royal Rumble 2022. However, saving perhaps the most random for last, there was also a former WCW World Champion backstage in Nashville, and no, before you get your hopes up, it wasn't Goldberg. No, instead, it was perhaps the GOAT of all WCW champions, David Arquette. Again, no clue yet why or what he was doing at the show, but he was there. Maybe he was just negotiating his opponent for All In. Maybe he's one of the three mystery men. One final name of note backstage at a recent Dynamite was, unlike the others, a contracted AEW talent, albeit one that we haven't seen in a little while. I'm talking about former TBS champion, Jay Cargill. It was Force of Habits, Jay Cargill. Yes, after reigning as TBS champ for 508 days, Cargill decided to take a vacay away from AEW following her title loss to Chris Statlander at May's Double or Nothing pay-per-view. Now, while she was always assumed to be coming back, Cargill's lack of enthusiasm when asked about her return by fans on Twitter had some questioning her AEW status. But then again, she was on holiday. This is how I react to coming back to here when I'm on holiday. What do you mean? I don't want to come back. Well, rest easy, as according to Fightful Select, Cargill was present for the August the 9th Dynamite in Columbus, Ohio, with the report confirming the 31-year-old is still under contract with the company and her hiatus is and was agreed upon. Now, while there's no real indication that could spell a return soon, Cargill's presence back in an AEW show is at least a promising sign of a return coming up soon. Cargill versus Arquette at All In, maybe. All right, so that was two relatively calm bits of non-punk related AEW news. So that means we must get into the CM Punk stuff. It's like a deconstructed sandwich with two bits of bread first, then the now with the Because while much of the talk among the brawl-out culprits has obviously been on CM Punk and the Elite, one name that hasn't featured in the news for a while is Ace Steel. The most porn name in all of porndom. Leading into the debut of AEW Collision in mid-June, Steel was reportedly a large sticking point for negotiations between Punk and AEW, because Punk wanted Steel back in person at shows, and AEW didn't really want to do that for obvious chompy reasons. Allegedly. Eventually, it seems the two compromised, with it reported that Steel would work with AEW and on Collision remotely, just not attending the shows in person. I want to see the iPad on wheels that wheels around. And that was it, really, until yesterday, when Fightful Select provided an interesting little update on Steel's status at present, 2 months into Collision's life in AEW. Fightful confirmed that Steel has been back since Collision's launch, however, not in person, and with no plans for that to change. According to AEW sources that spoke to Fightful in May, Steel is considered an insurance risk due to the brawl-out situation, and as a result, wouldn't be permitted to attend shows. But being away from the company in the aftermath of brawl-out, Steel reportedly met with Tony Khan, where it was agreed he could return in a remote capacity, while also interestingly being free to pursue work outside the company also. Maybe even encouraged. Please go and work with other people, Ace. Even more interestingly, it was also revealed that Steel received pay from AEW for the time that he was out. Since returning, the report states that Steel has had periodic talks with Tony Khan while also suggesting things for CM Punk to do, with his AEW deal said to be up in the fall or autumn of 2024. Now, while Steel may not be physically present on Collision, he did reportedly play a part in AEW's undercover boss, CM Punk, reportedly sending AEW head of talent relations Christopher Daniels home from a recent Collision taping. Yes, a talent reportedly sent an AEW official home. Wrap your head around that one if you will. Now, the reason for this was reportedly due to Steele's absence, because Punk felt that if Steele wasn't allowed on Collision, neither should Daniels be, due to his presence in the brawl-out fracas last September. Now, in the latest bizarre development to this story, a rather curious decision was made regarding this week's Ring of Honor tapings, because usually ROH is taped on a Saturday, which is the same day as Collision. However, this week they were held on Wednesday in Nashville on Dynamite's taping. While this isn't overly strange, just wait for who appeared upon those tapings. Because according to Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Radio, Christopher Daniels, Ryan Nemeth, Brandon Cutler, and Colt frickin' Cabana all appeared on that taping. Now, considering that not one of those names are allowed to be present at Collision tapings and therefore wouldn't be able to appear on Ring of Honor consistently, so the decision to have them all appear is super strange. Even Meltzer admitted that the situation was bizarre, with no reason for both why the tapings were moved or the four men's involvement being known. Alvarez speculated that perhaps AEW will stage tapings for some of ROH on a Wednesday and some on a Saturday in order to facilitate the use of the names on Punk's blacklist. However, Meltzer doesn't see that happening. He continued to say that the change of tapings makes sense due to the need to tape the August 26th Collision following the August 23rd Dynamite, causing regular changes to the scheduling, but either way, it's a little bit odd. Lastly, we've got a very quick note on the already infamous Texas Chainsaw Death match on this week's AEW Dynamite. Now, while the match has split the opinion online, it reportedly pleased Warner Bros. Discovery, according to PW Insider, and more importantly, it earned AEW $100,000, all of which was donated by Tony Khan to food banks in aid of the Maui wildfires, that's just good stuff, TK. And now, after much speculating online, we now know the identity of the man behind the Leatherface mask, and no, it was not David Arquette, though he was there. Instead, it was AEW enhancement talent Dean Alexander, perhaps best known for appearing on the now-dead AEW Dark, who took up the iconic role on Wednesday. So there you have it, another one of wrestling's great mysteries solved. Happy Friday, everyone. We can all sleep easy for the weekend. What is my life? What is my life?